Okay, so I've completed the wiring separation on this GG1 mehano, and if you notice, I now have taking the switch that was on here and removed the wires. I've now separated the motor wire, the blue one, and soldered these two together, and this goes from this motor all the way down to this motor uninterrupted, and the red wire from the motor going over, and I've soldered this connection right here, and this wire goes all the way down through to this side of the motor. The track right here, I have blue wires coming off of this up from the track, and I'm going to be using this wire to connect my chip, and this wire, blue wire coming up from the track, comes back over and connects to the blue wire from the track on this side. Same with the red coming up from the track. I still have this to solder to, which my red wires are still connected all the way over to this side coming up from the track. So now motor power and track power are separated. The lights, I have removed the diodes, and the light with the diode on it, the wire rather, would be this one, and I'm not quite sure which wire to wire the chip to, but I'm not sure that it really matters, but we're going to wire it up this way and see what happens. And now I'm going to show you how to wire this, and I don't have the chip yet, but I wouldn't bore you with the soldering process anyhow, but I'm going to show you which wires you solder to what. And the chip that I'll be using is a Digitrax, and they give you a diagram that shows you how to wire it to your engine. And I have done this before on other engines, on Athearn engines. This is the first time I've done it on a mehano. So, to start with, you would take your black wire from your chip and wire that to the blue off of your track. So that would be right here. This connection right here. You would wire the black to this. The red you would wire to the other side of the engine. Coming up from the track, you would wire to this red wire. The orange wire you would wire to the red from the motor. And I am going to solder that right here. That's the orange wire to the red. The gray wire you would solder to the blue wire coming from the motor, which I'm going to solder right here. And then the blue wire coming from the chip you would wire to both lights, here and at the other end here, because that blue wire is your common to the lights. The white wire would go to the front of the engine, which I would assume is this one. I have put the engine on the track and forward ran in this direction, going this way with the red wire here. And then the yellow wire would go to the rear light. And then the rest of the wires on the chip you would not use. You could either cut those off fold those up or whatever you wanted to do with them. And then once I have this wired up and put the chip in here, I am going to go ahead and put it on the track and see what happens. And that's pretty much all there is to it. Alright, see you in part 3, and we'll be running this engine.